everyone, welcome to Psychic Charity. Today we're talking about left is right, right is left, and up is down, and down is up. Exactly what we're talking about though? The rule of creation. And more importantly, the rules of psychic protection, attack, defense, fight. I love fight. Love it dearly. Hold on. I got a drink to fight. The psychic fighting. Psychic loving. The psychic bell just shut up. To the topic at hand. When it comes to creation, how everything actually builds up into something, everyone's following the same rules. So they're affected by the same principles. And it's going to stay that way until a smaller thing looks at a bigger thing, challenges that bigger thing, and actually it takes its shit. Or it ends up, creating its own little area and having its own gravitational pull and yada 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 yada. We're talking about planets, people. Here's a I'm gonna kill this little astrology works or astrology doesn't work thing real quick. You wanna know why? Here's why. When it's cold outside, when I say cold, I mean everything under 17 degrees. When it's cold outside, D-U-A.
What do you mean, cunt?
Well, here's the real answer. A, no one's going outside because it's too cold. But let's say you have to go outside. A, go outside buck naked. If you do, like a bravest little girl I've met in my life, come over. I will feed you and we can drink tea together. You'll be age 19. I do 18. I do 19. Yeah. Or is it B? I'm going to actually put on responsible clothing. I've learned how to do this still. I'll probably figure out by
It's the early show. We gotta get this. We gotta get this out of the way. Is that a good attitude to have? Let's get this over with. I haven't even started yet. It's an early show, so we got stuff we gotta do. It's fun. Haven't done an early show in a long time.
This better back off. I'm getting pissed.
You heard this one yet?
This better back off. I'm getting pissed.
Actually get frostbite. It's whatever letter I was saying you got. Why? Because the season make it so it's cold. And because it's cold, you're going to start feeling emotional things. And it's going to go up your spine, means it's going to go up your nervous system. And all of a sudden, your attitude, your personality, your reality are defined by the weather, by the elements, by the planet, and its position. So, when we're talking about the rules of the road, when it comes to psych. So, when we're talking about the rules,
this guy's talking a mile a minute. Psychic Charity. Oh, here he's talking about abstinence. This is stuff we need to know about.
Hello everyone, welcome to Psychic Charity. More importantly though, hello everyone at the Oracle Lab who's actually watching this video as homework. For anyone who doesn't know, Oracle Lab is where I train up my intuition.
Oracle Lab.
That being said though, this video is about celibacy. Why on earth should you be enjoying celibacy? To put it simply, you need to understand why Superman wears blue and why Wonder Woman wears pretty much nothing.
What?
Sensitivity, the capacity to actually hold space. Divine masculine, divine feminine. And that's why we do these things to you, because I understand something. Yes, you're going to go through pain. Yes, it's going to be bitter. You need these things on a leash. You need them both at arm's reach. Literally, that's how it works. Because if you don't, eventually you will get into a situation in your life where you are just drowning. I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a bad way. I want you in the center of it all, though. Because
okay. This guy's wild and weird. Psychic Charity. I'm checking out his website, and it's powered by Weebly. When I went to click on his website, it gave me one of those security warnings, and that's something to be concerned about because we've had so much hacking that I got a little scared at first that I was warned about going to his website. Seems like a normal website. It's powered by Weebly. Nothing untoward here, but you never know with some of the hacking stuff going on. We're doing an early show. We're doing it. We're getting it out of the way, and then we're done. And we can go about our lives, and everyone can go about their lives again. If you're a Patreon patron, if you're a Patreonian, you can watch the Cool Stream Cooldown if you haven't already. If you're an after watcher, it's the Cool Stream Cooldown bonus episode, which you can watch before or after the episode if you're a super patron on Patreon. And let's get into some. What are the various levels of pledges and subscriptions that exist on the Cool Stream Patreon and just in general? There's a lot of them. First, you got the Cool Crew, which is everyone, the whole kit and caboodle. You got the Cool Patrons, who get the Cool Podcast, and you got the Super Patrons, you get the bonus episode and the Cool Podcast. Is that all the levels? Then you've got just your regular old, just random people popping in and out. And who knows how many of those people watch the show. We got some follows. While we weren't streaming. Let's see what some of those people are. Some subs, resubs. Notility followed. And Sel Motafa followed. And another follower we had last week, Tan Mid Kamzan 1979. I wonder if these are bots. Stream is very popular when it's not online. That's right. Now I'm wondering if these are bots, and maybe we're getting hacked into again because they all end in these different years. Interesting. Maybe we'll cover that later. But for now, though. We gotta do the show. Let's do it. Let's get it over with. That's a great attitude to have. Let's get it over with. That's right. It's time for another Cool Stream. It's been a whole week, a whole trip around the sun, and we're back again to do another episode. Might as well do it. Yeah. It's the Cool Stream, everybody. It's time to do another episode. It's going to be fun. It's an early episode, which is always kind of interesting to do. Everyone who just popped out of bed, good morning. Everyone who's been up for a little bit, I hope you had your morning coffee. Don't worry about those pesky chores. Maybe you're doing them right now. You're sweeping the floor or you're vacuuming. If you're vacuuming or you're mowing the yard, you're going to have to crank those headphones up. I don't think that's how the orbit around the sun works. You may be right. I don't think we orbit around the sun at all. I think the sun orbits around us because it's a flat Earth. Remember that flat Earth stuff? It's weird. Anyway, it's time to do another one. That's right. It's the Cool Stream, everybody. It's a show where we talk about some of the weird, crazy stuff on the web. And we'd like to thank all of the mystery bots that have followed us. We'll get into some of this bot stuff and catch up on some of the hacking. It's all right. Sometimes you forget about the flat Earth. It's all right. It's easy to forget. There's so much weird stuff going on out there. It's hard to keep track of it, but we're doing the best we can to let you know what some of the weird and crazy stuff is going on the web, because that's what we do on
The Cool Stream.
We're going to have a fun show today, everybody. It's a show that we talk about crazy stuff on the web. I already said that part, and the topic for today is going to be psychics. We're getting into some crazy psychic stuff and some different things. We got some stuff to catch up on before that, but it's going to be pretty cool. I'm just seeing here we got some people in the chat. Psychos? Maybe some weirdos. Psychics.
If you're not, it can literally just destroy us. Eventually you're going to be engaging with same energies on an etheric level.
I've got a new psychic person that I like, Psychic Charity, on YouTube. If you watch the Cool Stream Cooldown on Patreon, you'll know all about this guy. Bow, bow, bow. All right, let's switch on over. Today's show is all about psychics. Psychiatrists? Well, we're going to have to figure out what a psychic is and what do they do. And would you like them to meet your mother?
Would you invite them to meet your mother?
That's what we're getting to the bottom of. Who are these psychics and what do they do? Would you like them to meet your mother? But before that, we've got an update. Now, some of the hacker stuff is ongoing. We talked to a hacker a couple weeks ago on the cool podcast called Paradox, and I think I talked about this last week, that we're trying to get to the bottom of what the hacking was that went down with the show. Were we hacked by Jeff Bezos? We have some serious doubts about the stories that we were told by Anonymous. So our friend Paradox, who's part of a hacking group, said he was going to get to the bottom of some of the codes and stuff that come out of the stream. I don't know if you know this, but when you do a stream, you get a text file after the show is done, letting you know some of the ins and outs and people, IP addresses, and the different pings and pongs and bongs and stuff that went down while you were doing the show. And that should let you know if there was any hacking involvement, and you don't want any of that. So I sent the hacker logs from way back in December 2019, last year, when we did the 50th episode, when Jeff Bezos hacked the show. You remember that? That was crazy. So he's checking out the hacker logs, bings and bongs. It's an early stream. So we have an update from Paradox about, did we get hacked by Jeff Bezos, and what was Mr. Rude Guy's involvement? And I haven't listened to this voicemail. I've been saving it. I was going to play it on the cool podcast, and I thought, you know what? I said, you know what? F that. I'm sick of all this paywall crap. I want everyone to know. I want the truth to come out there for all people to hear without having to pay a monthly subscription. So, here we go. We're playing this. We're going to see what Paradox has got updated for us on the hacker stuff, and then we'll get into the show. And we got a hard out today, so we're going to have to keep things moving along. But here we go. Let's see what this voicemail says here.
Beowulf, it's Paradox. Listen, I'm calling you from my command bunker right now. I got those logs that you sent me, and I reverse engineered some stack traces, and I can absolutely confirm it was 100% our guy, Mr. Rude Guy, who hacked the stream. It was absolutely not Jeff Bezos, like you might have thought.
What?
Again, we got some confirmation from these logs you sent over. I just wanted to let you know, keep you posted. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with the paradox of the day. It is a paradox in the contemporary world that in our desire for peace, we must willingly give ourselves to struggle.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. That's big, big news. It's what I've suspected all along, and I can't believe it, and it's a shock. That's right. Here, the news, you're going to hear it here first. It's a shock that it was Mr. Rude Guy who hacked the show. It wasn't Jeff Bezos. That was a big lie. And I'm sick of being told false truths by some of these hackers, and especially someone who I thought was my friend. And he said that he was trying to help the show, but instead, and I hope everyone knows and understands the gravity of this, of what we're talking about here, instead it was Mr. Rude Guy all along. It wasn't Jeff. But I knew it. Deep down, I knew it, and I'm glad that our friend Paradox can help us out. And maybe we'll have to do some hacking of our own. Maybe we'll have to, now that we've got the hacker logs locked in and Paradox has got us connected to Mr. Rude Guy, who's somewhere in Eastern Europe, maybe we'll have to do some hacking of our own. And isn't that a little, and you could call it fake news, and we definitely call it that. We're going to have to do some hacking of our own against Mr. Rude Guy. All right, and get our revenge, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of these lies. We're all about the truth. And the truth is that today we have to do this show. There's no getting around it. It's an early show. The truth is we got to figure out, before we do any of this other stuff, we got to figure out what is a psychic and what do they do.
Would you invite them to meet your mother?
What is psychics? Well, there's a famous psychic. let's start with this and this, and then we'll jump to something else. There's all kinds of different links here. This is crystallinks.com. It's a great website of psychic and spiritual development. So there's empathy, there's finding a missing person or animal, ghosts, Hall of Records. That's interesting. I Ching. Mandalas, mentalism, meditation, Ouija. We're looking for psychics don't remember. What is a soul? I didn't think to look through this and see what we should start with. Vision Quest. There's a bunch of stuff to look at about psychic stuff. So, where should we start with? There's hypnosis, visualization, doppelganger, clairvoyance, clairgunstance. That's one of them too. If you're a patron, you'll know all about clairgunstance. Clairvoyance. It's a French term meaning from clair, meaning clear, and voyance, meaning vision. Refers to the ability to gain visual telepathic information about an object, person, location, or physical event through means other than the known human senses. It's often called ESP. For some, clairvoyance is innate, while most people, it can be developed through psychic development exercises, meditation, and yoga. Whoa. I want to learn how to be clairvoyant, clairgunstance. To understand how all psychic abilities work is to understand the nature of reality as a consciousness hologram. Whoa! In which we vicarious experience. The human brain is an electrochemical machine, forever viewing streaming consciousness for experience and interpretation. And I've got streaming consciousness right now. I'm streaming it straight through the web. This is just unfiltered, non-stop, unconscious streaming from my brain straight into yours with my psychic abilities. It's programmed by binary code. So our brains are like computers. They use binary code and DNA codes. We love the codes. Clairvoyance today falls under the heading of pseudoscience or paranormal psychology. There have been anecdotal reports of clairvoyance and clear abilities throughout history in most cultures. Clairvoyance has been associated with religious or shamanic figures. For example, ancient Hindu religious texts list clairvoyance amongst other forms of clear experiencing, and you gotta go clear to do any kind of clairvoyant stuff. Some of it is spontaneous. For example, many people report seeing a loved one who had recently died before they have learned by other means that their loved one is deceased. I've heard of that before. The earliest record of somnambulistic clairvoyance is credited to Marquis de Passegur, a follower of Franz Mesmer, who in 1784 was treating a... I'm not going to say that. We know what they're saying here when we highlight that. There's treating someone... There's treating a person. Okay, we don't have to say this phrase. During the treatment, they would reportedly go into trance and undergo personality change, becoming fluent and articulate, and giving diagnosis and prescription for his own disease as well as others. He came out of the trance state and was unaware of anything. This behavior is reminiscent of the reported behaviors of medical clairvoyant and psychic Edgar Cayce. It's reported that although this guy used the term clairvoyance, he did not think of these phenomena as paranormal, since he accepted mesmerism as one of the natural sciences. It was a reported ability during the spiritualist period. So we're going to talk about Edgar Cayce. He was a famous... Let's just go into here. Here he is, the sleeping prophet. Edgar Cayce. He had a psychic ability to channel answers to questions on various topics while in a self-induced trance. And he was a devout Christian. That doesn't sound... I don't think Jesus would approve of this. He lived before the New Age movement. His organization, Association for Research and Enlightenment, exists worldwide. Edgar Cayce Centers are found in more than 35 countries. Wow! Here we go. All right. We got a subscription, Twitch Prime.
My channel, where we listen for the dead to speak to us.
Thanks, Robert Dimby, for subscribing for 11 months. So now that we know Jeff Bezos isn't the hacker, I feel okay resubbing. All right, thanks for the subscription. Crap. I need to move that booing one around somewhere else. I keep booing people unintentionally. And then we had the welcome to my channel sound played by Nimiko. I think you're the first person who has ever played that one. That's from the Ghost episode. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the cool stream. Alright, Edgar Casey is a weird psychic guy from way back in the day. Here's his website, Edgar Casey's ARE. Your body, mind, spirit resource since 1931. Welcome to my channel. It's from the Ghost episode. A guy investigating ESP. Here's Edgar Casey's ARE. Edgar Casey's ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment. He's a famous psychic guy who made all these predictions.
Hello
or
from
something.
Edgar Casey's ARE.
Hello.
This work has helped to transform
Kevin
and
Tedeschi.
inspire individuals around the world.
For more than 100 years, the Edgar Casey material has been helping
Casey
people
McQuaggy.
change their body, mind, and spirit
And
for the better.
At the ARE, we do all we can to make sure the Casey information is available to the world in ways that apply to everything that's going on right now.
We offer insights into spirituality, improving your health, life after death, psychic experiences, overcoming fear, and much more.
Edgar Casey was among the first in the Western Hemisphere to bring in
the massage
information
school.
about eating an alkaline diet, positive affirmations,
sounds familiar.
and holistic healthcare practices like massage, chiropractic, and meditation.
Long before dreams had become part of psychotherapy, the readings were teaching people how to use their dreams for guidance.
Long before science realized how long humanity has been on this planet, Edgar Casey was saying we have been here for millennia.
Whoa. Alkaline
Many
diet
more than
and
we actually
chiropractic.
thought possible.
That's the good
In
stuff
the midst
right there.
of religious, political, and
Verdella
racial
Dinwiddie.
turmoil, Edgar Casey proposed that all of humanity is connected in ways that most of us could not even fathom.
He suggested that an understanding of this oneness will eventually
Sad.
transform the world.
Edgar Casey stated that the people who study this material, you, will change the thought of humankind.
The ARE continues that mission to raise human consciousness with you.
Today we are asking for your help in fulfilling that mission.
The only way to get through this time of great challenge is to reach out and assist others.
Help us do that so that we can help others.
Join us for an online program.
Keep us in your thoughts and prayers.
Please,
Thoughts and prayers.
donate right now.
Donate right now. That's the most important thing.
From all of us at Edgar Casey's ARE, thank you for helping us shine the light.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're shining light for Edgar Casey, and this stream is officially sponsored by the Edgar Casey Foundation. Hey, special offer, $39. Keep the light shining. ARE is a beacon of hope. Uh-oh. Support the Relief Fund. The Akashic Record in Relationship by Kevin Tedeschi. They got all kinds of stuff on here. Edgar Casey, who's a sleeping prophet, the father of holistic medicine. He's the most documented psychic in 20th century. Go to the massage school. Psychic abilities began to appear as early as childhood. He put himself into a state of meditation, connecting with universal consciousness. From this state came his readings, and he did holistic health stuff too. Wow, you can get all kinds of stuff here. 24/7 access to all of his readings, membership only, the Casey Quarterly, and a free online course each year, the Enlightenment Series, a $365 value. That's $1 a day. If you can afford a freaking mocha chocolate latte, you can afford to be a part of the Edgar Cayce Research Institute, or whatever the hell this is. All right. He's an interesting fellow, this guy. The first psychic you've ever heard of. He's the 20th century psychic, the sleeping prophet. He played with imaginary friends, and who doesn't? Lonely children like us, no friends. Later in life, he found the ability to put himself in a sleep-like state by laying down on the couch, and I can do that too. Go to sleep. He could contact with all time and space the universal consciousness, also known as the superconscious form. From there, he could respond to questions as broad as, what are the aspects of the universe? What is my purpose in life? And what can I do to help my arthritis? How were the pyramids of Egypt built? He died more than 60 years ago. In his classic book, There's a River. There's a river. I don't have any of his readings pulled up, because we're going to blast through this episode today. We're going to jump through all kinds of stuff, and we may not get to all of it, but it's going to be fun, and it's going to be cool. Oh, no. Whoops, wrong page here. Let's get out of there. Here we go. Awakening your 7 spiritual centers. I do have a quick Edgar Cayce related video. This is kind of cool. Found a lot of cool videos related to psychics, as you can imagine. Some good stuff out there.
Where do we look for God? In this finite material world where nothing really lasts, where do we find our connection to the infinite source of life? Are there special sacred spots to which we can travel and experience God? Or are we instead strangers on the earth, sure to be disappointed if we look for the Spirit at some pilgrim spot? Can we build special structures where God will come and meet us? Or is any building only as holy as those people who gather there? The ancient spiritual traditions offer an answer to this mystery.
He's a
Seek
famous
God within yourself.
He's a famous psychic.
The outer church or temple is but a metaphor of your own inner church. Your body is the real temple.
Your body is a wonderland.
The story doesn't end there. More can be told about this inner temple. Details, deeper insights about how the spiritual realm reveals itself to us in our own bodies. These details are well known in the Orient, carefully described in Buddhist and Hindu traditions.
Well known in
but
the
West
Orient.
knows of these ideas only by little recognized teachings, esoteric traditions.
Weird
These
stuff.
traditions say that 7 spiritual centers within the human body are sensitive contact points where the spiritual world and the physical world touch. To many modern thinkers, such an idea sounds far-fetched. And yet,
crazy.
Our knowledge of the physical world changes as the boundaries of science expand. Breakthrough discoveries redefine what is possible. This is especially true of our search to understand the human body. With each passing year, we uncover new information about the body and its wisdom, its complexity.
What?
Ideas that
remote viewing
may
for the
have
military.
previously seemed fanciful, even inconceivable, are shown to be true. An example of this is our understanding of energy itself. 100 years ago, atomic energy was unthinkable. 100 years before that, electricity. Even though we don't yet know how to measure it, could those subtle energies that flow through spiritual centers of the body be the next breakthrough? Ancient spiritual wisdom from the East and the West has for centuries spoken of such subtle energy forms, expressions of the life spirit itself. These invisible energies and forces won't be easy to detect by physical instruments. But these traditions say they are very influential upon our physical, mental, and spiritual health. In some teachings from the East, the movement of these subtle energies is called the Kundalini.
This is the sound of the
Sometimes
Kundalini.
it has been symbolized by a snake or serpent,
Kundalini.
probably because it follows a snake-like course up through the body. Might the dual snakes of the caduceus, the symbol of healing in the medical profession, be rooted in long-forgotten understanding of this Kundalini force and its influence on health?
We use the Kundalini?
The flow of Kundalini
we go to the
energy
hospital.
connects 7 specific spots in the body, what we call the spiritual centers. In the Orient, they have been referred to as the chakras.
Talking about the
the word
Orient.
meaning wheel. Through the ages, clairvoyants have seen these energy centers, describe them as swirling vortices of life energy, with sections like flower petals or even the spokes of a wheel. No doubt the word chakra or wheel came from direct perception of their appearance by individuals
Whoa.
gifted with so-called second sight or perception of higher realities.
Whoa.
This program is an exploration of the spiritual centers, the chakras. You will learn
The
exactly what a
chakras.
spiritual center is and how the 7 chakras.
This video
located
is a long video. It's pretty cool. It talks about Edgar Casey. I think I didn't really get into it. Just this guy. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let's watch this real quick, and then we'll get into another one. Just talking about the chakras, the spiritual center.
First spiritual center. The location of the second chakra is in the lower abdomen. It is especially related to the polarities of life, most notably the balance between masculine and feminine aspects within us all. That delicate balance between yin and yang, between passive and active, creates many
in this
patterns
economy?
of thinking, feeling, and acting that directly relate to the second chakra. When this center is out of harmony, we can become one-sided in our approach, pushing for the dominance of one aspect over the other. Or we may project the side of
farts
ourselves that is
chakra.
weak onto someone else. Either way, it relates to our interpersonal relationships. The third spiritual center is found in the solar plexus region.
The
It
solar
is associated
plexus.
with the use of power at a personal and material world level. In its negative expression, it can be anger, resentment, or fear. But when this center operates in a
I'm not
more
trying to go
healthy
too
way,
lowbrow
it
today.
provides the personal power for courage and initiative. The fourth chakra is located in the heart region.
Okay, the chakra doesn't have much to do with psychics, but I thought that was kind of a cool video. Awakening your 7 spiritual centers. All right, we're going to get into some other psychics, some famous psychics, like this lady here, Sylvia Brown. She's a famous psychic, and here she is on the Bay Area.
Friend Kathy and said, Kathy, do you
She's
know
on
any
the
great
show.
psychics? She said,
She's on the show People Are Talking.
and remember Kathy Lee and Captain Stupid, but he doesn't know.
Kathy
who-
Lee?
I don't know.
There is a lot happening. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Hey, I've been on vacation. Give me a break.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. It's funny.
And then we told the story. Now, we won't tell the whole story right now, because we'll let her. She made a major decision for a friend of our producers who wondered if he should buy a co-op in New York City.
Very expensive.
Like a $2 million job.
Right. We're going to find out what she said to him and then whose it was.
He called Sylvia, and we'll tell you what her... Would you please welcome our
Please
psychic,
don't
Sylvia
tell her.
Brown.
This is a fun show. People are talking.
Love it. So fabulous, sitting right there, having dropped 70 pounds, looking so terrific. But we'll talk about
Wow. Looking fabulous.
Miss Sylvia.
It's a family show, yes.
Kathy Turlin had a friend
It's a family
who
show.
wanted to buy a very expensive co-op
Yes.
in New York. Had been looking a long time. Kind of thought he and his lady friend had found the one
is
they
in
wanted, but he is a true believer
New
in
York.
psychic predictions and psychic
Bay Area
ability.
90s
He
TV.
called
It's
his
from the
friend
Bay
Kathy
Area.
and said, Kathy, do you know any great
The
psychics?
show
She said,
People Are Talking.
Of course. And so she called you, and she got you in touch with this gentleman. Now, what did he ask you about the apartment? I mean,
He asked me that he was really willing to go ahead and buy this apartment, and he just loved it, and he was raving on, and I said no.
You said you suggested he not buy it.
Yeah, I said no. And
She's one of your favorites, not mine.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't.
Sylvia
people that
Brown.
Know me, I
I'm using
really
my
don't beat around
psychic,
the bush that much. I probably
some of my psychic abilities here to divine that I believe that she blasted cigs
I feel all
with her
kinds of
voice.
negative
She's got
energy
that
around it.
smoker laugh.
And I came on very strong about it.
Now, he then
The
called
smoker laugh.
our producer, Kathy Chermel, and left a message on her answering machine. And this is the message
Let's
he
hear it.
left after he talked
Let's
to
hear
Sylvia.
it.
Terry, it's I guess 8:30 your time. I just wanted to tell you that the apartment that Eric Clapton's kid fell out of the window, I don't know if
no.
you've heard he was killed, was the apartment that Billy, and I have been looking at forever that he just lost today that someone else bought. So Billy calls and says, maybe your psychic's right after all, because your psychic said there were major problems with that apartment. So for what it's
hell?
worth, he's a big believer again in your psychic. Can you believe that? Anyway, I thought you'd want to know. And
Isn't that something?
That
so
is
you didn't know
something
it was
else.
Eric Clapton's apartment, but
No.
you said there
This
was
is like
something
Eric
negative,
Clapton,
something.
the
bad
kid
was
fell
gonna
out the
happen. I said,
window,
I
and
just
he
don't
wrote
feel
the
good
song
about it.
about
And
it.
the next day,
Pretty good
next
song,
day
I
or 2
guess.
days later.
Yeah.
the little boy,
I
as
think
you
this
know,
brings-
for those of you who may not know,
It
Eric
fell out of
Clapton
the
had a little
window.
4-year-old boy, and his mother and the maid was home.
was
The maid had
horrible.
opened up these large
And
French
he jumped out of it.
windows, and the little kid ran thinking he was going to push his hands on the glass and went out 52 floors to his death, which was just tragic.
Jeez.
Well, let's maybe talk about some happier things when we come back from this commercial break. Be right back. Stay tuned.
Yay! Let's think about this kid dying. Yay! Fall asleep. Oh, okay. They're talking
Tomorrow
about.
at 3, falsely accused of rape.
Oh no!
Well, we're
Oh
back,
my
and you can.
God.
It's actually on your.
The host, whatever the other host guy hates being a host on this show. Oh man, this is. People are talking. Okay, let's get into some
TV
psychic
screen,
stuff.
which is great.
I've had enough of this.
Every time you come on, though, Sylvia, something funny happens with the electricity. We don't know why.
It's our
Do you?
Kundalini
No, I don't know
acting
either.
up.
Every station that I'm on, from Seattle to a light goes out or something. I don't know what it is. It could be energy or
Kinetic
anything.
energy, huh?
Let's ask you about some people here. We know that Maury Povich and Connie Chung are attempting to have a child. Do you have anything to say
We
about
know
that?
it.
No, I don't
People
think
are
they will.
talking about it.
I want them to. I would
No.
love them to, but I don't think they will.
You don't see that, huh? Demi Moore and Bruce Willis are expecting their second child. First one was a girl, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the second one's a girl, too.
Oh, really? Do you think they're actually going to have the 6 kids they say they want?
I think so.
So you think it's a good marriage?
No.
Ah.
They go ahead. People have to. I had a lot of kids. I didn't have a good marriage. A lot of people. That doesn't necessitate the fact that it's a good marriage. I think that, let me preface it by saying that I think it's a good marriage for now. And I think in this life, that's all we have is now. But in the long term, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
she's
Roseanne
not wrong
Barr
on
and
that
Tom
one.
Arnold. From what we understand, they're going to attempt artificial insemination.
She has a line that she can't use.
I can't. No, I can't. But a bubble. Do you know the bubble that you never say? This bubble that appears is even God is saying. Woo! No. I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah. That's not a marriage made in heaven either, huh?
Oh, there's such a place as hell.
That's what it is. How about Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman?
They're cute, and I think that they're fun for each
Cute.
other, and I
They're
think they're going to
fun.
make it. And I'll tell you
They're
why,
gonna
because
make
she's a
it.
real strong woman.
He's gonna get
And
a
I
new
think he
tooth.
needs a strong woman,
They're
and I
gonna
think
make a
that's
movie
why it's going to
together.
be good. Because she's got the strength. Because he's got that sort of charming little
He's got
boy
that
way about him. He really
joie
does.
de vivre.
And I think she's good for him, and I think she'll whip him into line.
Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts.
They're just predicting.
Yeah, well, he can't.
Celebs are doing.
Quit philandering, and she is kind of
Psychic
broken
predictions,
about this.
predicting
Now, see,
Hollywood couples.
Yeah. See, and this is something that I have to separate myself psychically from because I do know about this. But I don't think it's
predicting
going to last. I
psychic
really
stuff.
don't. I think he's going to do one too many philanderings, and she's going to say,
Why would he philander?
He's gonna say, Where's me cuddle, bro? He's not going to say that. He's going to say... let's see. We have a website pulled up about her, I believe. Sylvia Browne, a famous psychic. She did do Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks? He's going to get the coronavirus. Let's see. And actually, speaking of that, she had her legacy. She was riddled with failed predictions. She did too many philanderings. I thought there was something about her predicting some stuff going on today. It marked the end of a career of immense fame. She died November 20th, 2013. She predicted Larry King would die when she was 88. She rose to fame her frequent appearance on Montel Williams. She went from the Bay Area show to Montel Williams. She told the mother of Amanda Berry that her kidnapped daughter was dead. Oh no. Enough with the philandering. Give me the philanthropy. She claimed to have a psychic success rate of 87 to 90%. A 2010 analysis of 115 predictions she made on the Montel Williams show put her success rate at 0. She charged the police department $400. Whoa, that's a good chunk of change. She made predictions about people being kidnapped and stuff. She accused a dark-skinned man of kidnapping someone, and then this person was found alive. Her kidnapper was a white guy, so she was being racist. She did lots of psychic stuff. She responded, "Only God is right all the time." Her behavior was criticized by many, like the amazing Kreskin, a mentalist who did performance art shows similar to magic for more than 40 years. Kreskin said she had helped the police with 84 crime cases, but acknowledged that he was only helpful 1/3 of the time. Kreskin has helped with the crime cases. There are some different psychics who do help with detectives and stuff. Let's talk about some famous psychics going on today. Speaking of a Hollywood psychic, and I don't have any videos because he's the Hollywood Medium on the E channel. So God forbid if I tried to show anything from the E channel, it'd be removed from YouTube immediately. But you can go check out his videos. He does different psychic stuff with celebs. He's the new Sylvia Browne. An evening of hope and healing. His live shows have been canceled, and that's good. He's the Hollywood Medium, star of E! Entertainment's mega hit show, Hollywood Medium, with Tyler Henry. The Hollywood Large. His life-changing show, An Evening of Hope, Healing, and Closure. Tyler explains how he communicates with the other side, plus audience readings and an interactive Q&A. And that's kind of the most popular psychic stuff, is talking to people about their dead relatives. He's quickly become perhaps the most sought-after clairvoyant medium, both in the U.S. and around the world. His show, Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry, on the E! channel, demonstrates how he uses his unique gift of communicating with the other side to bring comfort, closure, and hope to his clients. It helps aid in the grief process. Here's some guy talk about your dead relatives. He's famous. Yeah, that's mostly the kind of psychics that you hear about are these mediums that communicate with the dead. Rebel Wilson said, "I love it, Wendy McClendon. If you're a skeptic, I totally get it, but all I did was hand over a meditation stone and gave Tyler Henry Medium no other information, and I gave him $1,000. Sofia Vergara said he told me things that nobody in the world could have known. Going away with a very nice feeling. Very grateful I was able to meet Tyler." Howie Mandel. Wow, wow, wow. There aren't words to describe it. It's real, and it is wow. Wow. It's important. I was so worried, and I'm so thrilled. I said, yes. They love him. Allison Janney said, very grateful. I'm really glad I did this. Now, Rebel Wilson said, I feel kind of a lovely, awesome, joyous kind of feeling, which is really good. That is good. We're glad that the celebs are feeling good. The Rock, thank you, man, for sharing your powerful blessing. Even The Rock did some psychic stuff with Tyler Wilson. Tyler Henry. Tyler Wilson, different guy. Yes, he's the Hollywood medium. And, of course, it couldn't be that the people who work behind the scenes are able to dig up information about these famous celebs. Should be pretty easy to discover some of these. The Secrets of the Celebs. There's another famous psychic, and she was on The Goop Show. I don't know if anyone watched any episodes of that on Netflix. Check it out. Goop. The Goop Show. Is that what it's called? Anyway, she's got an episode on there. Laura Lynn Jackson. I watched the episode about her doing psychic stuff. There was a couple other psychic things. It was kind of... Some parts were kind of interesting, but she, of course, was tapping into the other side and talking to people's dead relatives. A wife, a mother of 3, a teacher, and a psychic medium. Read hundreds of people and connected them with loved ones who have crossed to the other side. Learned a lot. I've learned that powerful cords of light connect us to those that we love, both here and in the afterlife, and that if we open our hearts and minds to those bonds, we can immeasurably enhance the way we live and love today. The Goop Lab. The lab, they allow the psychics in, all kinds of weird stuff on that show. The Goop Show. She does a blind reading for a Goop staffer. So this is her famous thing that happened on the Goop Show. And we're not going to watch it because, God forbid, YouTube makes us take it down for copyright reasons. But I watched this episode, and she does a blind reading where someone comes in, sits down, she starts reading like, I'm seeing a purple shoe, and I'm seeing something else, a car, a 1970 convertible, just listing off some of these different things. And the person sitting down, she's kind of a skeptic of all this stuff throughout the episode. You can watch the Goop Lab and see this for yourself. And then someone off screen who works at the Goop is like, what? She's talking about me. And she's like, yeah, I knew it. I could feel that somebody was talking to me. And it was somebody off screen who was working behind the scenes that she was reading, and it wasn't the person in front of her. What? And that's how you really freak people's bean, is you kind of, she doesn't know who she's reading. It could be somebody else. And when you're filming a TV show, there's people all over the place. So that was a little trick that she did, and she probably talked to somebody behind the scenes and did a little research and with Goop. Uh-oh. I don't want to get sued by Gwyneth Paltrow. So we're not going to watch any Goop. Laura Lynn Jackson. Check out the Goop Lab. Goop. What other psychic stuff do we have? Let's check out the list of psychics. We got some weird psychics. We've got this guy. We've got this guy here. We talked about him on the last episode.
Is that when I'm doing a reading or I'm connecting with somebody, I ask for information that will be for that person's highest and best good, because or information that we can change. Because if I were to tell you, you're going to get in a car accident tomorrow and there's nothing that you can do about it,
he's got his own show, Meet the Frasers.
So one of the things that I do is I ask them on the other side to give information that's going to help us. If there's something that's going to go wrong in our life, what are the steps that we can take to change it or prevent it from happening? Because when people come to you, especially as being a psychic or a medium, it's because they need help. Maybe they're going through a rough time in their life, or they're going through, a rough patch that they need a little bit of inspiration or need some guidance that, can help them get themselves back on the right track. And that's the information that those on the other side can provide and want to talk about. They want to relay information that will put that person back on track and will help them within life. Not something that's gonna, that they can't change or you know that there's nothing they can do about it. And that's the reason why these messages are so important, and that's the reason why they oftentimes bring them through. A lot of people ask me all the time, you know, first thing they say is, I don't want bad news, you know, I don't want to know, you know, if someone's going to die, if there's going to be a death in the family, and thankfully I don't receive information like that. I never know if somebody's going to die or if there's going to be a death or anything like that, you know, because those on the other side, they only bring up messages that are meant to help us and inspire us. So, you know, even during a live event, nothing that will invade your privacy will come up. Nothing will come up that's uncomfortable or that's going to be something that you don't feel comfortable talking about.
Because the people from the other side don't want to embarrass your ass and say, remember in the 4th grade when you ripped your pants and your butt fell out and everyone started laughing? They wouldn't ever say that and embarrass you in front of the psychic. That would probably be the first thing that I did if I was on the other side and I was doing a psychic reading. I'd say all this embarrassing stuff. I'd be like, remember? And I'd reveal some personal information. They'd get embarrassed. I'd mess with them.
One of the things that I feel, you know, during these events is that everybody walks away with a sense of peace when they come and they experience firsthand the power of connecting with a loved one on the other side. Everybody immediately feels comforted. They feel as though they can move mountains afterwards. It's almost like you see the people come, and it's so funny because you see the people coming into an event, you know, that I'm performing at, and you have these people, you know, they're at the bar, they're getting like 6 different drinks, you know, because they're so nervous. They're taking tissue paper and they're putting it in their pocketbooks. They're, you know, all prepared for, like, you know, the worst. They're sweating and whatnot, and it's funny because, you know, when I go up and I start pulling people out of the bench, you can feel their hands and they're shaking and they're clammy and whatnot.
Freaking out.
But then the minute the messages start to come out and the minute people start to be read in the room, you just see everybody start to calm down. And all of a sudden people are laughing and there's tears of happiness and they're crying and there's just so much emotion. The energy in the room is incredible. And it's amazing to see how the people react and just how comforted everyone is when they're leaving. And it's like, the only way they can describe it to you is like a family reunion. And it's funny that a lot of times people make lifelong friendships at my events as well, because they'll come and they'll sit down next to people.
Okay, shut up. He's talking too much. Yeah, it's kind of like therapy for some people. They got to get it out. They got to confront some of those things, and the psychic is just there to kind of pull things out, and sometimes you make your own connections about things, and it feels like a scam. Well, we'll get into some people who are exposing some of this stuff. Well, we got one more famous medium. This is Matt Fraser. This guy was from our Afterlife episode. He has his own TV show on one of these other channels. This is America's Next Top Medium. And here's one of the most famous psychics, Teresa Caputo, the Long Island Medium. Join the fan club. Let's see, what's the latest news? Oh no, the live experience. The spring tour has been rescheduled. The Long Island Medium. She's on TLC. Another show that we can't play on here. Because we don't, and she's got all these tattoos and big hair. She's the Long Island Medium. I'm the Long Island Medium. Maybe you've heard of my reality show? New York Times best-selling author. Was raised in Hicksville, Long Island. Well, there are all kinds of Hicks out there in Long Island. I have 2 children, Larry, and Victoria, and a feisty Yorkie named Louie. My parents, Nick and Ronnie, live next door. My brother Michael and his family live a few towns over. I've been seeing, feeling, and sensing spirits since I was 4 years old. But it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I learned to communicate with the souls in heaven. It's a lot less harmful when they're talking to your dead relatives versus when they're putting minorities in jail. That is true. These psychic detectives. You can't make this stuff up. What? Sure you can. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, here's from Vancouver. This one says it's here from Turbo 420. Thank you to coming to Vancouver, BC. My daughter surprised me with my ticket half hour before the show. You have been high on my bucket list for a long time, but you also live very, very far away. It was a magical night. I cried lots of tears, but good tears. Love your shoes, your bling, and your wonderful sense of humor. When you asked about the 3 mountains, I got goosebumps. The 3 we usually talk about are on the North Shore, Cypress, Grouse, and Seymour Mountains. Between are the lines, all of it pure magic. She's got powerful hair. I just seen you at the Vancouver show. Thank you for such a heartwarming and amazing experience. We love it. You're so freaking adorable. Tamara Peach. Just got back from Teresa Caputo. What an amazing experience. 3,000 people attending the show. She actually came up and read me and just nailed every detail about Tyler and things about him and us. It was just a she could have known. Just amazing. These are some reviews. Lots of emojis. In Halifax. Saw you tonight in Manchester by the sea. So that's cool. She's the Long Island medium. There she is with the guy from Parks and Rec. She's a Hollywood person too. Look at all these celebs. What? Man, it must be. She's on Steve Harvey show. Have a TV show. Go in there and talk to the celebs and go on all these TV shows. The Long Island medium. Well done. Wow, Fox and Friends. Good day, New York. I'm surprised I don't have a picture of her with Trump himself, the Cheeto. I don't even know who these people. Oh, there's Cyndi Lauper. She's friends with all the famous people. There's Steve. All right, let's get into some other stuff. Like I said, there's some people out there who are doing some work to expose the scams and the scammers. And so we're going to watch some. She loves Trump. You know it. We got to get into some people exposing the scammers. And maybe we'll look at a couple weirdos and then we'll get out of here and we'll save some more of this for another Psychics episode. That'll be cool. I didn't get a chance to go through all of this episode, but the famous guy who's out there busting the psychics left and right is James Randi, and he used to have this TV show. He busts the psychics on the show. This is a guy doing like math in his head, which is, you know, not a psychic power, just he's good at math. He's got the National ESP hotline. It's Randy for Randy. So I didn't really go through this to find specific segments to show, so we're just going to have to... What's he doing here? He's cutting someone open. He also used to do magic and stuff. So let's watch the intro, and then we'll try to find some clip in here somewhere. I should have watched this whole thing and thought of something, but... Let's see what we can find. And then there's some other people. Salisbury. This is just a cool show. You should go watch it. Exploring Psychic Powers Live. There he is. In front of Stonehenge. He does a lot of stuff where he busts people out who claim to have some of these powers and stuff. This is kind of like a variety show of all kinds of different stuff.
From Stonehenge, the amazing Randy.
Amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may believe that what you're seeing is genuine levitation done by someone with psychic powers. And what better place would there be in the whole world to present this illusion than here among the megalithic monuments of Stonehenge.
And they're really in front of
Stonehenge. Don't be deceived. I don't have psychic powers. I'm merely an illusionist. Tonight, we're going to look into the difference between psychic powers and illusion. Join us for Exploring Psychic Powers Live.
Psychic powers? He's like 90 years old. Maybe they are in front of Stonehenge.
Exploring Psychic Powers.
Exploring Psychic Powers.
Live. Starring James Randi.
Live.
With mathematical wizard Arthur Benjamin. Psychic Sylvia Brown.
Sylvia Brown.
Quackery expert Bob McCoy. Illusionists Penn and Teller. And special guest Uri Geller. And
Uri
now,
Geller.
Your host,
Bixby.
Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby. Oh. His audio's cut out. Uri Geller. Let's see. Let's fast forward. Let's see. Well, there's someone swallowing a sword or something. Oh, you can hear him in your... I use my psychic abilities. Someone messed up the sound. He did the show only for psychics. I'm here to talk about psychics today. I think it kicks in at some point.
We'll find out when we continue exploring psychic
Exploring?
powers.
Which... Where should I jump to? Oh, here it is at the beginning.
More around the middle. Between 40 and Exploring Psychic Powers. Live.
Welcome back to Exploring Psychic Powers as we broadcast live via satellite to countries all over the world, including the United States, Canada,
alien show
Italy, and Australia. Tonight, 7 individuals will have the chance to prove they have psychic powers. With 7 challengers, there's a possibility we could give away $700,000 tonight.
Whoa.
Now, to qualify for the prize money, each of our psychic challengers has agreed to put their psychic powers to the test.
Geller.
The experts who designed scientific protocol for these tests are with us tonight.
Sarah Michelle
Dr.
Gellar
Stanley
related
Krippner,
to him?
the world's foremost
Dr.
expert
Stanley
in
Krippner.
parapsychology and a professor of psychology at Saybrook Institute in San Francisco. And collaborating with Dr. Krippner is Dr. Ray Hyman, a professor of psychology at the University of Oregon in Eugene and a respected statistician. Together, these two men
he's gonna
have
bend the
worked
spoon.
with the challengers to establish the rules by which each of the psychic challenges will be conducted. We'll be seeing more of Dr. Krippner and Dr. Hyman later. But right now,
Dr.
let's
Hyman?
meet once again a man who, in addition to being one of the world's
Howard?
foremost investigators of paranormal activities, is also a master illusionist. He's uniquely qualified to tell the difference between illusion and paranormal powers. He's the author of many books on the subject, including Flim Flam. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Randi.
Amazing. Let's not bust these psychics out.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm an illusionist by trade, that is to say a conjurer, or if you wish, magician. I have no psychic powers whatsoever, nor does any magician. We don't claim that. But as a magician, I think that I'm uniquely qualified to expose trickery when it occurs in parapsychology or in psychic claims, and particularly when it's self-deception. Now, at this point, we're going to do a demonstration. We have asked for a volunteer. We're going to show you what psychokinesis is. Psychokinesis is the apparent power of the mind
Dad
to
has
change, alter, or move,
psychokinesis.
or in some way affect material objects. We'll do 2 demonstrations for you. We have a volunteer from the audience that we spoke to earlier. Yes, this gentleman over here. We chose him because he does have a watch that will show up well on television. How do you do, sir? You haven't met me before. Just to get you out of the audience. What is your first name?
Miguel.
Miguel, you have a watch in there. Miguel. Hold on to it for a moment. These are teaspoons.
And where should I fast forward to?
I imagine. Can you see stainless?
This is a national
someplace?
ESP test.
Yes. Cool. It does say stainless. Very good. Have you ever seen the stainless steel psychometry trick? Watch this. Psychometry. I mean, parapsychological trick. Watch. Would you hold on to this for me like that, with your elbows on the table, please? Make life easier for you. Just turn to that camera right there, if you would. Now, I'm just going to begin stroking this spoon, and you're going to see something mysterious happen. You know, a psychic who at one time was doing this sort of trick is no longer doing it because every 12-year-old magician has learned how to do it. And Miguel, not too tightly, very lightly, please. Just very lightly. It used to be done a great deal, but now the magicians and the kids are doing it too. Miguel, let go of that for me for a moment. Just let go. You'll see that it seems to be turning sort of fluid.
What?
Doesn't it? Look at this. And right before your very eyes, now you're up close to it, you can see it happening. Look, it seems to be getting soft and turning all sort of putty-like. Put your hands underneath it there. I think it's oh, it fell in 2 pieces. A miracle of a semi-religious nature.
Whoa.
Thank you. Now would you remove your watch for me, please?
That's cool. He's doing some magic stuff. Where should we jump to in this video? I should have watched this before. Oh, there's something. Let's see what this one is about.
The Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. He reads palms.
Palm reader. Is that a psychic?
All right, Joseph Merriweather has told the subject to sit in front of what he believes to be their correct astrological signs. If he gets 10 out of 12 signs right, he will win $100,000.
Here we go.
All right.
You're going to win the money.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please look behind you at the sign our astrology calendar has given you? If you are not seated in front of your correct sign, would you please stand up?
Please stand
and
up.
Step forward.
Bop, bop, bop. What?
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry to say, Joseph, that we did not score well this time, but I thank you a lot for your courage coming here tonight and putting your powers to test. Thank you very much.
Oh, no. Poor guy.
Coming up, psychic Uri Geller and the truth about medical quackery on Exploring Psychic Powers.
He got busted out on that one.
Live.
I like when they get busted out.
In preparing for tonight's show, the producers of this program and the amazing Randy, known to his friends as Amazing, searched the globe for stories about psychic phenomena and people who could demonstrate their effects. Randy and the producers interviewed hundreds of people who expressed an interest in appearing on Exploring Psychic Powers Live. Those taking part in tonight's $100,000 Psychic Challenge were selected because our experts were able to design a way to test their powers, and the challengers agreed to take those tests. All the challengers participated in the design of their tests and agreed to the test protocol.
A person who deliberately misrepresents himself as possessing medical or other healing skills. Fortunately, this man is not a quack. He's a curator of the Museum of Questionable Medical Devices at River Place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob McCoy.
I've been to that museum, the Museum of Quackery. That's pretty cool. Well, James Randi, it's pretty cool. They have a bunch of stuff about orgone. Well, I didn't prepare too well and find... Here's Sylvia Brown. Let's see what she says. I just want to see her getting busted out. Just want to see someone getting busted out.
Professional ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sylvia Brown.
What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through this audience and I'm going to do readings. And the only thing that I want you to do is to validate or invalidate anything that I say, because a lot of times things can be in the future. This
Charlie
lady
Sheen
over here,
there.
You've never met me before, have you? There is a young male in your life that has very, very puppy dog eyes. Do you know what I mean? The eyes droop down at the corners. He is going to come back into your life and then leave your life and come back into your life. This looks like a direct connection to you. He's kind of slender. He's
slender
athletic
man.
looking. He has sort of large bones.
Big boned, and he's
this is going
slender.
to cause you a great deal of problems. Do you understand what this is about? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. In what part?
The person coming back and forth and cause problems.
Who is that to you?
I think it's somebody I know. I've met recently.
That keeps coming back and forth. All right, there's somebody here too. This lady right next to you. I'll get over to you in just a minute.
Interesting.
The
There's
name,
someone here.
Bill keeps coming
Bill.
through so strong from you.
One of the most common
Do you
names
know
out
anyone
there.
at this point by the name of Bill?
No, I don't.
There's a heavy-set, full-faced man with jowls, very, very blue eyes.
With jowls.
That really has something to do with real
Soggy
estate
jowls.
or property that's going to help you. This is aside from the
Bill.
Bill, because this William is
What?
also another
Different guy?
person.
What?
And this has to do with a two-layered property. In other words, an
What?
upstairs and a downstairs.
Two-layered property.
No.
Not at this point. Okay.
Well,
'Cause
one of
this
these
person is going
days.
to be very significant to you by the name of
Soggy
William.
jowls.
All right? Because a lot of times these things can be in the future. Let's
Just
go to you.
A lot of these things are going to
There
be in the
is
future, so remember that. Bill is a big. Is he a Great Dane? Bill is going to sell you a 2-story property. He's a big fat guy, so be on the lookout for Bill.
A 2.5-year period in which it looks like you are going to be, I don't want to say without a job, but there's a flat period in which you're not doing what you want to do. And that's going to cause you a lot of dissension. And this 2.5-year period, then you're going to get into a lot of marketing and sales work. And this marketing and sales work has to do with 3 other men that you're going to be training.
What? So this guy in a tie, he looks like a businessman. He's going to get into marketing and sales. Sounds like the police are interested in Bill.
I understand you're not so good. I'm a German.
What?
I don't care whether you're German, you still work or not work, don't you? I mean, we do that in France or in Germany or wherever, don't we?
I must so much think when you speak English, and I understand all words.
Okay, 2 years of no working that you like. Okay. That's my German. Okay.
Sorry, Bill.
And then you're going to be traveling and doing some telemarketing work, marketing sales.
Yes.
Yes. Is that yes for me or yes for you?
Yes for me.
Okay. Let's see.
Poor
who
guy.
else?
He's just like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. What if all the audience members were just people who didn't speak English? They're like, sure, okay. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Bill.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. She's sitting here saying, please don't let her call on me. All right.
Yeah, I'll just say yes and
Kathy?
go away.
I don't know.
This girl is by the name of Kathy, has dark curly hair, and she is a friend that looks like she's going to be in school with you. She has very,
Watch out
very
for Kathy
beautiful
and
blue
Bill.
eyes, and she does a lot of
Look at this guy
paperwork
next to
with
her.
you, which looks like
It's
school.
like the guy
'cause not
from
everybody young
Spinal Tap.
is in school usually. This person isn't by the name of Kathy. Also looks like you're going to get into some kind of therapy work.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar.
Do you know what you're going to do?
Yes.
I'm going to get into some
but it
kind of
doesn't have anything to do with therapy.
work.
But it
Oh,
looks like
no.
you're going to be dealing with people that has to do with therapy. In other words, advising people, helping people, talking to people. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Well, she's striking out. Not doing too good. Not doing too hot today. We got another person here who's exposing the quacks and the fakers. And let's jump over to that, and then we'll try to watch a quick couple ones about some of these weirdos. There's the James Randi Educational Foundation. He's a magician and an escape artist. And he busts out the fakers out there. That's the James Randi website. And this woman is affiliated with James Randi and was on the Ono Ross and Carey podcast. She's busting out the psychics. Susan Gerbic. She's also called the Wikipediatrician. Monterey County and skeptic, self-proclaimed skeptical junkie. Founder of Guerrilla Skepticism on Wikipedia. Skeptical Inquiry. She won the James Randi Award for Skepticism in the Public Interest. And so anyway, she did some crazy stuff where she's out there busting out these psychics left and right, and one guy in particular. And let's go. There's a whole video. It's kind of a long process that they went through to bust out the psychic. Wow. Now, wait, is this it? Holy Kool-Aid. I think this is it. Operation Pizza Roll.
Operation Pizza Roll started in March in 2017, and it mainly started because the New York Times wanted to make sure that they got a hot read, because you can catch a cold read on a psychic pretty easily, and I've done it many, many times. Hot reads are really difficult to prove.
Psychics often claim that they can read people's minds, predict the future, or tap into the spirit world and communicate with the dead. It's a hugely profitable industry.
Crazy.
But to convince people that they have access to special information, they rely on one of two methods. Cold reading, which is where you read the sitter cold, relying on verbal and nonverbal clues to glean information from them, sort of like Sherlock Holmes. And hot reading, which is where the psychics research the sitter ahead of time using tools like social media, and either memorizes the details or has someone communicate it via an earpiece. I've done entire videos on the methods of both tactics, and we'll put links to them below.
Well, you can't just stand up in a psychic show and say, "You're a fraud, you're phony." Does nothing. You cause a disturbance and you're thrown out. And that's it.
Thomas John is a world-renowned psychic whose clientele includes Jennifer Lopez, Julianne Moore, and Courtney Cox.
And a friend of mine in the LA area, she said, "Hey, this psychic just came across my Facebook feed. He's going to be in Hollywood in 2 weeks. You want to try to do something with this guy?" And I'm like, "Sure." I'd never heard of him before.
People ask, do you ever have naysayers or skeptics? I mean, I do probably in the world, but those people really don't come to see me because they wouldn't, they're not going to come.
Right. He just happened to be the one that we got because he was in the right place at the right time, but I knew nothing about him beforehand.
I'm just more aware of somebody's energy, people around them, their aura, things like that.
When we decided that we were going to do Thomas John, we said, all right, who wants to be in the team? I just threw that out on Facebook, and several people said, I do.
Should investigate
I couldn't tell him who I was doing. I just told him it was a psychic. I said it's going to take about 2 weeks. We're going to be lying to the psychic. We're going to give the psychic money, and it may possibly cause people in the audience to believe further, because when we go to the event, we're not going to reveal ourselves as being skeptics. We're just going to look like one of the crowd and agree to everything that the psychic says. So I told the team, I said, if you're not okay with that, then you need to not be in my team.
And of course, everybody who got involved with it really went out of their way to make these pages real.
So I explained, you're going to create these pages and you're going to interact with each other for about 10 days. And during that 10 days, you're going to create a lot of different characters. 2 of the characters are going to go to the psychic event. One is going to be myself, and one of them is going to be Mark Edward. I said, you are going to create a backstory that I won't know anything about, and Mark won't know anything about, and then you just look like you're real people talking to each other.
The idea was to try and have something that was bulletproof, because a psychic could say, maybe I was just reading their mind, what they were thinking. I've worked with psychics for long enough to know they have an answer for everything. And unless you can choke them with their own bait, you're not going to get anywhere. So what we had to do is double blind it by making sure that some of the information that was put on the Facebook pages, Susan and I didn't know. So when we went to the show, we are only given a very limited amount of facts.
They put together a backstory for myself and for Mark. And they said that I'm Susanna Wilson. I'm going to attend this event with my husband, Mark Wilson. I want to contact my dead twin brother, Andy, who died of pancreatic cancer a couple years before. And then Mark's story, they created saying that Mark didn't have a great relationship with his dad, and years ago his father had died of heart problems. And now
this is a whole long thing. We can't get to all of it. It's pretty interesting. You can watch this video. But basically they had all their people working for them go on Facebook and create all these different profiles and fake accounts and interact with each other and talk about different stuff. And then when they went up and the psychic talked to them, they would start pulling out some of this information from Facebook and it was all this different backstory that these people talked about, because they were doing these hot readings. They were just going on Facebook and finding stuff out about people and then reading it to them during this whole thing. It's pretty interesting. They busted him out for cheating, the Seatbelt Psychic. Check it out and watch the rest of it yourself. We're running out of time. We need to get to some of these weirdos. But there's skeptics out there who are busting them out. All right, so this guy's really weird. And we got some other weirdos. And we'll save the rest of the weirdos for next time. And we've got some good ones here. Some weirdos. We love the weirdos.
I'm Gary Spivey, and I entertain people. The reason I turned my psychic abilities into entertainment was simply because it works.
His hair.
People like to be entertained. People love to laugh, but above all, I enlighten people.
Love his hair.
People get bored easy these days, and so I have to explain it in sort of an entertaining way.
I know I look a little bit like the church lady, right? But I'm pulling a demon out.
No, here's what I say to the naysayers that don't believe a thing about what I do. Hey, I hope I entertained you. I was born psychic in a little country town in North Carolina where everybody was very hospitable and fun.
I had this crazy head of hair.
Parties and we cooked and carried on as you would.
Can we get you some cornbread? You want a piece or no? A little piece. A little piece?
I was always able to see
God,
things.
it's my grandson with his crazy hair.
I had all kinds of titles as I went along.
The modern-day Nostradamus.
Because I could predict future events and all this sort of thing. Really, what I'm about is healing people. I just want everybody to be okay. You can heal yourself spiritually. Sure you can. I see a lot of things that have people stuck. I believe that almost everybody's stuck in some way. I'm able to actually get rid of dark energies. Demons do exist. I can get rid of them, and I can teach people how to get rid of their own demons
out of here.
And then they're not stuck anymore. I've seen amazing things happen.
Amazing things with the demons.
A lot of times people come to me and they have chronic depression. I can get rid of it about as quick as I do this. If you notice, guys, you feel a little warm when I'm doing that with my hands. That's because I'm actually allowing a lot of light into the room. You don't have to be open to my psychic abilities to feel what I do. It's really not about me. It's all about you.
It's all about
you guys. And your connection. We're all connected.
He's such a nice guy.
And whether you believe this or not, we're all one. You, me, everyone on the planet, no matter who you are, what you do, what you believe, what your faith is, what your religion is, what your color is. You know, it doesn't matter. We're all human beings. And we're all one. We're all a part of God.
Lord. All right. Oh, this is a
crazy time that now we're living in. And Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, all the famous psychics of the past predicted something different. They couldn't see beyond 2012. It was different.
Something it's the end of the
was
world.
Changing. The Mayan calendar stops in December of 2012. No. Does that mean it's the end of the world? I don't think so. It's actually the beginning of a new one. So be a part of it, and I'll explain to you how it works in a very fun way.
All right. We love having fun. We're talking about the end of the world. Let's look at his website. We got a couple more weirdos, and then we're going to wrap up the show. And we'll do some more psychic stuff on another episode. Gary Spivey. He's got crazy hair. What's going on? Is that his real hair? No way that's his real hair. Meet Spivey. Tapping in with Gary Spivey. Oh, podcast episode. Oh, I love podcasts. Tapping in with Gary Spivey. Listen to all the podcasts below.
Hello, this is Psychic Gary Spivey, and welcome to my week.
Go back a little bit further.
The Spivecast. They should call it the Spivecast. Okay, what's another weirdo we've got here? This is care of a friend of the show, Turbo. Turned us on to this guy. He's a psychic. He's from Canada. Derek White Sky Cloud. Look at this website. Maybe one of the best websites that you could ever hear. And he's got this radio show. So I'm going to click around here and play some of his
World's
radio show.
Derek White Sky Cloud. You're a psychic medium and paranormal investigator.
Live on location.
Live. He's a shamanic healer. Let's see. Let's fast forward a little bit into his podcast, Between Two Worlds Radio. I'm just getting nothing here. No sound. I don't know what's going on with his radio show. Is this his radio show? I think something was disconnected here. I can't hear anything. Alright, I'm trying to listen to his radio show. Well, I don't think he hit record on that one, so let's go back to the website. It's a great website. I've heard of Between Two Ferns, and they're on air live. Look at this website. There he is. Spiritual Journey Between Two Worlds. This is Jill Defane.
Ghost Rider.
Hello, sweet spots. What the hell? Wow! Oh no. This website is out of control. So a different one was playing. Good lord. This website is out of control. Sweet spirits. Jill Daphne, the love psychic. Christopher St. Booth, paranormal investigator. Spooked, the ghosts of Waverly Hills. Wow.
So it's very computerized. So it's basically, it's almost like a sensitive. If you look at some of the, I remember when seeing some of the movies where actually the computer itself is trying to feel emotion. So
the computer is trying to feel emotion. This is a cool website. Check this out. He's got some ghost photos on here. Wow, look at this. I think we did look at this on the ghost episode, actually. This is a guy from Canada. Turbo told us about. Did you know? Spirit Wisdom, Santa's Village, Psychic Mediumship. There he is, his Christmas craft fairs. In love with my computer. Alright, this is Derek White Sky Cloud, his seminar, Advanced Psychic Development Workshop. Alright, we've got a hard out. Let's watch one more of these weirdos. You're going to love this one, and then we're going to end the show. It's been a fun one. Let's do one more here, and then we'll do another psychic episode. I don't know if this lady is really a psychic or if this is just a fun thing. It's pretty funny. I think it's just, I'm not quite sure.
Hello. Are you ready for something new? We are.
Wow.
Welcome to Psychic Readings by Pearl, the dead squirrel. Or as we prefer to think of it, the ascended squirrel.
The dead squirrel.
We'll be inviting a variety of guests, primarily underappreciated life forms.
Okay.
Like you, perhaps?
The dead
to bring
squirrel.
their deepest, most intimate concerns and lay them at the paws of the magnificently humble Pearl de Wisdom. Or, as she refers to herself, me, Pearl. Pearl will then
She has a bunch of possums.
consult the Akashic records or something and channel her unique love-based response through me, Georgette Spelvin, your friendly guide. For those
Pearl
wishing
the
further
squirrel.
details on the apotheosis of Pearl, you may visit our website at www.mepearl.com. All right. Now, we thought it appropriate that our first guests be the apples.
Here they are.
Oh, the apples have gotten big, but they're really glad to be here. Yes, they are. Okay.
They're so happy to
they're
be
not
here.
related. Well, you can tell
the possum
they
lady.
don't look anything alike, but they do live together. Is that right? Yes. Now,
Yeah.
before we begin, I must first release everything extraneous to the process. Shake it out. Shake it all out. There. Have you your question for the wise and wonderful Pearl to Wisdom? All right. Yes. Yes.
Those nasty
I
possums.
understand.
Yeah.
The apples would like to know if they will ever find true love, or if they're simply stuck with each other for the duration. You do so care, Pearl. Of course you like possums. Ow! That's not funny, Pearl. Now, focus.
Okay. This is pretty weird. Psychic readings by Pearl.
No, you're pretty much stuck with each other for the duration. But durations are relative, so be of good cheer. Have a banana. There.
Okay. This is the Pearl, whatever, and her freaking possums or something. All right. Well, we got to get out of here. We got a hard out today. It's been a fun show. And one of the great things about doing these is that there's more stuff, so that we'll have another psychic episode. More weirdos and more psychics and more Gary Spivey and his crazy hair and all the stuff. So, thanks for watching the show. It's an early show. Getting the feeling Pearl isn't on the level. We're not quite sure. I think this is a big joke, but that's okay because it's pretty funny. Because she's, I think got her possums. Love it. Thanks for watching the show. We'll be back next week. All that good stuff. We'll be back next week. We will get to the bottom of more of the hacker stuff as usual. We will do some hacking. We'll see what happens next time on the Cool Stream. Maybe we'll do some hacking ourselves. So, thanks everybody for watching. It was a special early show. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do some fun stuff today. We'll see you next time. And we've got this nice song to play. But we got to get out of here. We got no time to lose because we got the credit sequence. So anyway, we'll see you next time. And thanks for watching the show and become a patron. Check us out on YouTube, all that good jazz. And we'll see you next time on
The Cool Stream.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Thank you for watching The Cool Stream with Beowulf. This was The Cool Stream. With Beowulf.
The Cool Stream. The Cool Stream.
Beowulf. Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one.
Would you invite them to meet your mother?
Check out the gams on that.
Oh, it's so good. The Cool Stream.
You best better back off. I'm getting pissed.
What's me, cunt over that? Would you invite?
Check out.
The cool stream.
Look at that. Wow.
Would you invite them to meet your mother?
Dunk your head in the hell toilet.
Baffled seekers to uncover psychic secrets through myriad mysterious methods of divination and the occasional thwack upside the head.